Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Scoreline.ie Camán Caint camogie podcast live here in the KCLR studios in Kilkenny with myself, Martin Quilty, and my co-host.
And I'm Áine Fahey.
Tonight, we are going to be doing the team of the year and the player of the year also. And just sit back, relax, enjoy a bit of Caint, a bit of chat. And you never know, if you're watching and your name is called out, you might be the proud owner of one of these fab jerseys that's up here behind us. And we want to thank our sponsors most sincerely, which we will do later on as well. Also, just to mention to Billy Culleton Photography, who provided most of the photographs for the players today. So, Billy, spot on, good man, you're brilliant. And anyone wants to get any photographs, you know where to go for that. Right, are we ready to go?
Yeah, let's knuckle down, I suppose.
Been an interesting few days after what's went on. We've had very few rows, surprisingly enough. The golden envelopes, by the way, everyone is here, so the players are all ready to go. So your overall view of what the process was and things that has happened since the county finals.
Yeah, like I suppose, we've obviously got an awful lot of nominations. I think we had nearly the bones of 80 to 100 nominations in total for junior, intermediate and senior players, which was great to see. And, all down to the hard work of the referees who are out there, the spies who are out there looking at all the games. It really was a fantastic championship, I think, overall. We kind of alluded to it earlier on in the year that last year's championship was going to be very, very hard to top. But I just think this year, there was a bit more of an edge to it, I think. And I think the main thing is, and you spoke about it earlier on, there's a lot of unfamiliar, maybe not so household names that are after coming through the fore, which is great to see because this podcast and everything that we're doing is really trying to promote the club player.
Which is our aim at the start of the year to do that.
And I think that's definitely after coming through. And it's just been great to see. There's so many new names that are there and new names that deserve so much recognition for the effort that they've put in, the commitment that they've put in, and great to see their names consistently coming up in the nominations and come back from reports as well, which is great to see. It's been exciting the last 2 weeks trying to whittle them all down. We've had a few disagreements, probably not as much as as much as we thought
we'd have a few more. Exactly. In fairness,
so it was great. It was absolutely brilliant. Delighted to see so many clubs being nominated as well. I think, to be realistic, there was probably only one or two clubs that had no nomination for whatever reason it was, but the majority of clubs had the nominations. The feedback has been absolutely brilliant, and you must say that every player that has been nominated really deserves their nomination. And it's a great start for them, it's a great pedestal to put them up on. And I hope the clubs realize that we are seeing the talent that they have and we're just putting it forward. And every winner of the team of the year and the player of the year is just deserved as well.
Yeah, we just had to change one nomination during the week as well from the latest podcast, and that was in the junior because one of the players had got in contact with us to say she was only after playing in one game actually. So obviously the referees was after sending us in the wrong nomination. So we will come to that shortly. But just I suppose a lot of people, when the nominations did come out, we were getting text messages to know why certain people weren't nominated and the whole lot. I suppose the categories that we had may not be that the players themselves that might be doing all the scoring may not have got a nomination, but we worked it on a star kind of a rating. So it was done on work rate, blocking, hooks, scores made, and obviously if you were after getting a few scores as well. So that was kind of like the 5 criteria that we set down, just in case anyone at home is looking to know what the story was. So maybe somebody that might have done a lot of scoring may not have got it, but the person that actually set up an awful lot of that scores may have got the nomination instead. So a fairer system.
Absolutely. And I think it goes to show it's the work rate, I think, and that's a lot of it for me. I would prefer a girl on a field or a girl on any all-star team or any team, whatever the case may be, whose work rate is absolutely outstanding. I don't care if she's not scoring every day or if she's not, getting, as much done, but as long as her work rate is up to par, I think that's what showcases. And sometimes I suppose we're all kind of guilty to it, camogie and in GA and in hurling and ladies football and the whole lot. You kind of look at the main lads who are doing all the scoring and you kind of forget about the ones around that, are constantly working hard and, the hooking, the blocking, the tackling, the whole lot. And, interestingly enough, I think that was great to see, particularly for the player of the matches in the intermediate and the senior county final. you know, it's not every day backs might get a player of the match award because they're not up scoring, but you know, it just goes to show the work that the girls were doing on the field, which is absolutely outstanding as well. Yeah, you know, it's been great. It's been really interesting. I know, listen, you're always going to have call. We're never going to get it right. Somebody is always going to have their opinion.
That's the joys of it all. A bit of controversy in the middle of it is great.
Exactly. But I think, I think it's been really good. Like, I'm really happy with it. I'm really proud of what's been done. I'm really proud of the way the championship has gone this year. I just think it's been absolutely immense. I think the talent that we've seen has been outstanding. And I think it definitely goes to show that Kilkenny camogie, you know, it's there.
It's in a great place.
It's in a massive place. It's in a really good situation right now. And, you know, we said it last week. We have two great teams going forward to the Leinster Club Championship in Dicksboro and Barra Rangers. And, you know, it's going to be an exciting couple of weeks for them. And also an exciting couple of weeks for Thomastown and Conhee from last year as well. You know, so, you know.
Conhee being out this Saturday coming against Moyshell, so the local derby.
Yeah, so, you know, it's excellent. It's great to see. And, you know, I wish them every bit of success, just in case we don't get to say it to them later on. But, you know, it really is. It's brilliant and it's great to see, and it's just making Kilkenny camogie stronger and stronger. And I think the numbers in the clubs are growing, and we're seeing new clubs being developed as well, which is what we want, and it's what we want to see.
Well, it just goes to show that over 6,230 registered members between everyone, players and the whole lot. I think there's a record number for players as well this year. Anyway, all of the talking has been done. The votes have been counted and verified. I feel like the Eurovision here now at this stage, but we're ready to go?
We're ready to rock, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to start off then with the junior team of the year, and we're going to start with our goalies. Now, just to say, we did consciously decide that we weren't going to get numbers on the jerseys, and we weren't going to put as in the left corner back, full back, etc., etc. So the backs are just going to be 6 of the best backs that we and the rest of the panel thought that was going to be the 6 backs throughout. So just to let everyone know that as well. So our goalie nominations then for junior team of the year was Ellen Crowley of Caman, Denise Keneally of Carrickshock, and Danielle O'Brien of Piltown. 3 worthy nominations that's there, but you're going to give us the goalkeeper right now. Who is it?
So our goalkeeper for the junior team of the year goes to Ellen Crowley from Caman.
Well, congratulations, Ellen. You are the very first All-Star for Camán Caint. A privilege it's going to be, and hopefully not the last time it's going to happen either. But yep, well done. So that is our goalie of the year for junior, Ellen Crowley. And of course, she will get one of the lovely yellow jerseys up just over my head here. Eddie, sponsored by John Crowley, Shoreside Farm Potatoes. So thanks a million to John and the gang down there. I know you're still waiting on the bag of spuds anyway, so that might come. You never know. Right, our backs nominations. Do you want to take us through them?
Yes, our backs nominations there for the junior team of the year. We have Marianne Walsh from Caman. We have Shauna Cody from Piltown. We have Emily Crowley from Caman. We have Sarah Crowley from Caman. Mairead Corcoran from Caman. Emily McCarthy from Piltown, Ava Carroll from Carrickshock, Sarah Tobin from Piltown, Vivian Holmes from Bennett's John Locks, Emer Quilty from Caman, Áine Kerwin from Thomastown, and Eileen Fitzpatrick from Thomastown.
Yep, and Emer is no relation, just in case anyone was thinking if that was the case. Right, so our first 3 backs, the awards for our wee class as our full back line. But anyway, our first back is going to be Ava Carroll from Carrickshock. So congratulations to Ava on your All-Star Award. Our second back then that we chose is going to be Marianne Welsh from Caman. So congratulations to Marianne. And our third back then is going to be Emily Crowley, also from Caman. So the 2 Caman women filling up the back spots there. So do you want to do the All-Stars then for the rest of the 3?
Yeah, so our remaining backs then go to Shauna Cody from Piltown, Sarah Crowley from Caman, and Mairead Corcoran from Caman. So an excellent decision there. 6 great backs, heavily stacked by Caman. That was going to be expected. We've seen, you know, their defensive displays this year. You know, what they haven't actually conceded that much, to be fair. And I think, you know, this kind of goes to show where their defensive unit has been at. Delighted for every single one of them. I thought Shauna Cody was exceptional in the county final, so delighted that she got there from a Piltown perspective. Yeah, so, you know, 6 great backs, and congratulations to all.
Yeah, so hopefully you can see them. That was up on the screen there a short time ago. So just to recap our backs again, it is Ava Carroll from Carrickshock, Marianne Welsh from Caman, Emily Crowley from Caman, Shauna Cody, Piltown, Sarah Crowley from Mooncoin, and Mairead Corcoran also from Mooncoin as well. So congratulations to all of our backs on your All-Stars. And just let people know that there will be a presentation of jerseys coming at a later date when everything restrictions allows us to do so. That's still in the pipeline, and we'll give you all the details of that when it does happen. So our midfield nominations.
So our midfield nominations are Niamh Fleming from Mooncoin, Lorna O'Shea from Piltown, Laura Phelan from Bennett's Bridge, John Locks, and Kelly Dowling from Nave Breach, Ballyraggett.
Yep, 4 exciting names that's there. And our first midfield all-star will go to Lorna O'Shea of Piltown. Excellent choice.
Excellent choice. Really, really strong in the county final as well. You know, we kind of said it last week. She kind of moved more so into a centre forward position, taking up Sarah Crowley, and you know the two.
They had a right battle between the two.
A real good tussle. Like they kind of nearly cancelled each other out, but you know, I suppose both of them had such an influence on the game for both their teams that it was phenomenal to see. It was great. So definitely well deserved for Lorna O'Shea, an excellent player I think to watch in the future as well.
And I think the next one is fantastic for a player herself. And I'm going to give you the honour of naming our second midfield all-star.
Yeah, and I think this is, you know what, this is really, really good because it comes from a very much a new club that's only been set up. So great to see it. So our second midfielder is going to be Kelly Dowling from the Nave Breach Club in Ballyraggett. This is brilliant. This is a massive, massive achievement for Ballyraggett, I think. A huge achievement for Kelly. You know, and it's just great to see. Like, I think it goes to show the work that's being done in Nave Breach at the moment because they are working so hard, and even they're underage, like they're working very, very hard on that too. So it's great to see a player kind of maybe now like a mini celebrity down in Nave Breach Camogie Club. So great for her. Congratulations and well done.
But it just goes to show you don't have to win a county title to get an all-star either, which is fantastic as well. So well done to Kelly. So our two midfielders, just to recap on them again, will be Lorna O'Shea of Piltown and Kelly Dowling from Nave Breed. Congratulations to our all-star midfield pairing there. Right, so our forwards. So our first, I go through the first 6 and I get Áine to do the second 6, and we'll do the 6 all-stars then. So our first of the nominations is Lisa McCarthy from Piltown. We have Kate Holland from Nave Breed, Niamh Dunphy from Carrickshock, Laura Wall from Mooncoin, Sinead McCarthy of Piltown, and Laura Dooley from Bennett's Bridge, John Locke. So that's the first 6. You'll give us the second 6?
So our final 6 then nominations are Niamh Crowley from Mooncoin, Megan Walsh from Bennett's Bridge, John Locks, Lauren Comfort from Mooncoin, Ciara Dunn from Piltown, Ruth Ryan from Thomastown, and Lisa Carey from Thomastown.
Yeah, so well done to all our nominations there. But obviously, out of that, we can only have 6. And I know as a back, you love to be coming up again forward. So I'll give you the honour of the first 3 forwards.
I don't really want to come up against any of them, if I'm being fair. But our first 3 forwards to make our junior team of the year are Lisa McCarthy from Piltown, Sinead McCarthy from Piltown, and Megan Welsh from Bennett's Bridge, John Locke. So congratulations. Excellent to see. You know, the 2 McCarthy girls from Piltown were exceptional in the county final. Megan Welsh has just been, you know, she's just had such a great year for Bennett's Bridge. She's showing her experience. She was a member of the Kilkenny intermediate team in 2016 when they won the All-Ireland. She's just a fantastic player. She's got a minor All-Ireland too as well. So great to see her popping in there. Great to see a Bennett's Bridge John Locke's girl as well and being represented on the team. So really good for them, and congratulations to the 3
great
girls.
Work being done there as well between the 2 clubs. So fantastic to see. Our last 3 nominations then in the forward line, I suppose realistically they were on fire when it came to the county final, but our all-star for our forwards goes to Niamh Crowley for Mooncoin. Exceptional final. I think she got 1-1 or 1-2. I think it was in the final as well. So fantastic player is Niamh. Our full forward then, I suppose, when it comes to it, because it goes to Laura Wall and Mooncoin. She's played in the full forward position. She's been destroying teams all throughout the group stages and in the county final as well. So congratulations to Laura Wall. And live, as of course you would, everything was put, of course, and there's a phone ringing here in the studio. So obviously someone trying to get in the door here in KCLR office. You can't beat live, I can tell you. And to finish off our forwards, all-star nomination in the team is Lisa Carey from Thomastown as well. And yeah, Lisa's work rate throughout all of the campaign has been absolutely phenomenal, and that's it. So they're on the screen there in front of you. I think you can give us the recap of the backs there.
Okay, so just to recap on it there, our goalkeeper is Ellen Crowley from Moon Caint. Our backs, we have Ava Carroll Carrick-Shock.
It's actually Emily. We were right the first time.
We were right.
Yeah.
Emily Carroll Carrick-Shock, Marianne Walsh Moon Caint, Emily Crowley Moon Caint, Shauna Cody Piltown, Sarah Crowley Moon Caint, and Mairead Corcoran from Moon Caint.
Yeah, our two midfielders then is Lorna O'Shea from Piltown and Kelly Dowling from Navebreed.
And our forwards then, we have Lisa McCarthy from Piltown, Sinead McCarthy from Piltown, Megan Welsh from Bennett's Bridge, John Locks, Niamh Crowley from Piltown, from Moon Caint.
Oh God, yeah.
Laura Wall from Moon Caint, and of course the famous Lisa Carey from Thomastown. Brilliant. I think a really, really strong junior team there. I think we could maybe even get a shout out there and try and get a junior versus intermediate versus senior match going really for this team of the year. Crack, it might be a bit of crack. But yeah, like really, really strong contenders there. Excellent to see. Delighted for Moon Caint, having the majority of girls there, obviously winning the county final if that was going to happen. But, brilliant to see a couple of clubs there being represented. Excellent work. And, that's a very decent junior camogie team there that you have at the moment.
It surely is. I suppose in the fact it's a pity that the senior and the intermediate, we know why that they go through to the Leinster Championship, that the third team obviously can't, because the GAA, you can have your third team involved. And it's great for the likes of Moon Caint and Glenmore and Ballyhale's going forward. We have Dixborough and Barrow Rangers now going forward to Leinster, but it's pity the juniors can't go forward as well.
Yeah, it is a pity because we have so many junior clubs in the county, and it's kind of sad the way that the other two grades kind of get to move on, whereas the junior, you just kind of stop and steady because, I think that Moon Caint, they have such a great history in the club that, they'd only love the opportunity to go on to compete and, compete in a Leinster Championship. I suppose it might be something that can maybe looked on down the line. I don't know as to the reason as to why. It's something got to do with the intercounty, the fact that we have a senior and intermediate.
Yeah, it's another thing through a tiered system, because if you look at Gaultier wins Waterford in the senior championship, they go on to play in the intermediate championship then when it comes to Munster, because they're classed, as far as I'm aware, as a tier that's below, we'll say, the tier 1 counties. Okay. I think that's why Carlow is competing in the intermediate with Moishel's playing Conahy this weekend as well, because you have to win the All-Ireland, I think, 3 times or something before they actually pushed up and go forward as well. But it is a pity, when you have teams that's preparing, they're going out, they win a county title, and at junior level, then that's it, it's over for the year.
Yeah, it would be a massive opportunity for any team that comes through at junior grade there. It is a pity it's not going to happen, but listen, I don't think that's going to take away from Moon Caint. Their aim was to win a county final this year. In my opinion, they were going to be the team that you had to beat. There wasn't anybody going to come near them as far as I was concerned from day one. But
you did call it right, in fairness to you.
I think now if they hadn't lost, I think there was
going to be blamed.
Picards outside my house.
You were going to be blamed. Full stop.
There. But yeah, great to see. Delighted for all the girls who have gone on to the team of the year. It was an easy pick, to be fair. There was a lot of girls there. We had so many nominations in it. There was a lot of girls that were very unlucky not to get on the team, but I suppose we had to go from the amount of nominations that came in as well. And
which is crazy. Yeah, absolutely
it was
crazy.
Mental, and it wasn't just yourself and myself that were picking them. Can we just say that there now as well? There was
and we should
many
say,
other people,
because people will come to this later on, that when it came to the senior grade, you had no bearing on the senior to a certain degree because Tullerone's involved. Same with myself with St. Clair. Lillian was there with St. Martin. So anyone that had your own club involved in it, you were stood aside from it, which is only fair, because that way we can't be accused of favouritism then or anything that way. But
that's clearly why I didn't get a nomination. I assume.
Well, you did actually get a nomination, but you're not getting a jersey anyway yet. So
I'll find my way to get a jersey one of these days. Don't you worry. I think that kind of concludes our junior team of the year.
It does indeed, and a fantastic year it has been for the junior grade. We've had the junior C, Piltown, rumblings going on, as we said before. They're actually putting in a third team next year into junior C as well. That's phenomenal going.
It's crazy. And I suppose now when we spoke to Alan Roach just before the county final, he was saying there was 50 odd girls that are down training. That's a headache for any manager, but he said it was brilliant. To have that numbers. Imagine the training session that you can do, because we see from clubs, and I see from my own clubs, there's patches there throughout the summer, with whatever's going on with girls working, going away, or whatever the case may be. Numbers can be quite low, and you might have only 10, 12 girls that are turning up training, but to have 50 plus girls turning up to training. It's no wonder they're entering a third team into it. And to get to 2 county finals at junior and at senior level, that's an achievement in itself as well. I know that they were unlucky in both of them, but they can take kind of positives from that regard, of the fact that they're competing at the top level in both their grades, and really good to see both management teams working very closely together to ensure that all the girls are getting game time, because that's at the end of the day, that's what they want, and that's why you're entering in second teams into competitions, so that every girl is getting sufficient.
But it was also great that they weren't pulling girls from the junior
Yeah.
up to the senior just for the sake of having it, because obviously there was enough girls that was there for the senior as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, as you say, great to have cooperation like that in it. So well done to all our junior all-stars. As we said, you'll be getting your jerseys just at the moment in time with COVID the way it is, and restrictions. It might not be happening for a couple of weeks or whatever, but we will move on to the intermediate team of the year. And as you can see, I think it's over my left-hand shoulder here, Eddie. It's the Kilkenny Lighting Services team of the year. So you're involved with Kilkenny out there. Mm-hmm. Great company, great to have, I suppose, the local employment team sponsoring the team of the year this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, it was literally just a question asked and answered straight away. And it was great to get the support from the lads, and I know they do be kind of taking the pick out of me a lot of the times over camogie, because I do be hounding on to them that they need to start watching more camogie matches. But to be fair, I don't think it's fallen on a deaf ear, even though they won't admit it. I know that they do watch it, and I know that they do follow up on it. So it's great to see them coming on board as well. Probably something that they've never really done before with regards to that, but it's great to see them getting involved with camogie. And I know Damien and all the lads are absolutely delighted with it, and they're infatuated with the jerseys as well.
So, they're class.
Yeah, they are. They're really, really nice.
Johnny and Intersports, congratulations, well done. They are fantastic, boy. Yeah, we love them.
Yeah.
Right, you're always standing in front of the next nominations, which is our goalkeeper for the intermediate team of the year. You're usually getting shouted at as well some of the time, so I'll give you the honour of giving our nominations for the goalie.
So our nominations for the intermediate team of the year goalie are Kayla Joyce Foley from Barrow Rangers, Cueva Moran from James Stephens, and Cleena Murphy from St. Clair's. 3 excellent nominations there.
This was a tough choice,
really
to be fair,
tough,
because we've seen it, and a lot of people, it came down to basically margins in who got the most stars when it came to the nominations and the whole lot. It was so close. But go on, announce our goalie of the year goes to.
Our goalie of the year goes to Kayla Joyce Foley from Barrow Rangers, and what a year she's after having. She was absolutely outstanding in the county final, superb in the county semi-final as well. Just really strong in the goal, very vocal as well, which is great to see. And to me, I think definitely just deserves there her spot on that team.
Yep, so well done to Kayla Joyce Foley. You are our goalie of the year for intermediate level, and congratulations on that. Right, our backs nominations then. First of all, we have Aidan O'Connor from Barrow Rangers. We have Chloe Power from James Stephens, Jennifer Lahey from James Stephens, Hannah Larkin from James Stephens, Elaine Elworth of Mullinavat, and Anna Purcell from Barrow Rangers. So they were our first 6, so you give us the second 6.
Our remaining 6 are Michelle Teen from James Stephens, Claire Aylward from Glenmore, Miriam Bambrick from Barrow Rangers, Laura Mulcair from St. Clair's, Niamh Sweeney from Emerald St. Anne's, and Davina Tobin from the Emerald St. Anne's Club. So yes, 12 really, really good nominations to kind of whittle it down to. I'll be honest, and we had this conversation, this was probably the hardest group that we had, the hardest team of the year that we had to pick from between them all. We kept
and
on
we
kind
did
of
say it was going to be the closest probably and best All-Ireland of the weekend, which almost happened to be the case as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think there was just so many players that you could have picked from. It was just so tight. It was kind of like we were stopping and starting, we were coming back to it, going away. I don't know how many times we were changing things around, and we think you'd have it done, and then it's like, no, hold on, stop this. We can't have her not on this team. So yeah, it was tough. I will say, the intermediate team of the year to me, I think was definitely the toughest. Yeah, it was the toughest team, and I think that just goes to show the quality and the skill that we were able to get from all the players in this championship.
Unbelievable. Well, our first back and our all-star will go to Barrow Rangers. Of course, we got given out as well because we called it Paulstown on our podcast last Tuesday. We should be saying Paulstown, Goresbridge. So, Teresa, if you're watching, we did rectify that tonight. But Anna Purcell, you are our first back tonight in our intermediate team of the year for an all-star. Anna Purcell from Barrow Rangers, congratulations. Also congratulations to Elaine Elward of Monanevat and Hannah Larkin from James Stevens complete our first three, and absolutely fantastic, I think, to see the way that Elaine has played all year. That was there. I got to see a couple of their matches this year, and she has been phenomenal.
She's just a stalwart really from Mullinavat, but not just Mullinavat. I think for Kilkenny in general, her commitment is like, you'd have to just admire it. Like, she's traveling up and down from Cork for trainings, for matches, and it's just her love for it. Delighted to see her getting a nod in there in the back line. But you know, you'd have to say, like, she has just been she's excellent. She's a real ambassador for the game, and she's a real ambassador for club players as well. She's just been absolutely fantastic, and definitely well and truly deserved her place in that team.
Yep, all three backs certainly are. So you will run through the remaining three backs for us?
Our remaining three, we have Michelle Teen from James Stevens. To me, the next one, it's an absolute no-brainer. I just think she's brilliant. Miriam Bambrick from Barrow Rangers. And then our final back on the intermediate team of the year is Laura Mulcair from St. Clair's Club. Like
a range of backs there like
absolutely.
That. I mean, you could pick any one of them out of any game and they would have been into, I mean, there's probably the guts of 20 more backs that we could have put in there as well. That was phenomenal. The voting was actually so close on every one of them. It came down to even a half a star to a full star of maybe a hook here or a bit more work rate there. But yeah, as you said, I mean, Miriam Bambrick had an outstanding final. Player of the match, and as you said, it's very seldom, I should say, that you have a back that's getting player of the match. It's normally the forwards getting all the scores and the whole lot. But she has been outstanding all year.
She's been outstanding, not just for her club, inter-county level as well. You know, we commented so many times on it during the league stages with Kilkenny, just how much her game has evolved and how much she has grown as a player, and just her skill and just her striking off the ball. You know, I think we mentioned it quite early. I think it could have been even through one of the commentaries in the matches. You know, she went away and she worked on herself and she worked on her hurling, and she got a lot of work on it. She's getting her just rewards. You know, she was probably very unlucky not to start in the league final in Croke Park. You know, probably very unlucky as well, you know, in the championship as well with Kilkenny. But I think she's such a player who's got such a positive mental attitude. She's only going to learn from it and she's only going to grow from it. And I think going back to the club, when they did go back to the club, is suiting her down to the ground because she was able to express herself even more. Like the day in the county final, she was outstanding. I think she was definitely, you know, the best player out of the 2 days of hurling, out of the 3 games. I just thought she was phenomenal. You know,
I think the best comment to even compliment Miriam on that is the fact that someone asked to know was there a magnet on the slitter, because every time she went to touch the ball was just sticking to the hurl or sticking to her hand, and she seemed to be on everything that was there. So yeah, phenomenal year for Miriam.
Yeah, absolutely great year for her, and definitely, you know, a centre back position on team of the year. I wouldn't have anybody else there, if I'm honest. I think she's brilliant. She's absolutely amazing.
Right, that moves us on to the midfield nominations. Then we have 4 of them in total. So do you want to throw them out to us?
Yep. So we have Ruth Jones from Glenmore. We have Orla Bambury from Barrow Rangers. We have Aoife Cantwell from James Stevens, and we have Laura Murphy from O'Loughlin Gales. Now,
I have to say that if you have someone, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it was commented on that we had a cornerback playing with Barrow Rangers in the county final who was 38 years of age, and I think Orla is also in around the same age group as well, and she's getting nominated week in, week out for a nomination to be on an all-star team. That is phenomenal going.
Like, it's amazing. She has just been, like, you know, she's just one of those players that she just keeps on going. She's so driven as well. Like, we spoke about it. She has all the experience playing with Kildare. She's won All-Ireland with Kildare. Then to come back to Barrow Rangers and, you know, be hurling so well with them, to to be captain as well of the team, really driving them on, a great kind of a leader to have there as well. So, excellent for her, well deserving of her nomination there as well, along with all the rest of the girls. But, I think you're kind of out in her age there now as well, Martin.
Well, it's in the programme, so we can't out anything that's printed, so we're okay on that. But this was hotly contested as well.
Yeah, this was tough now. This one was very, very tough.
This changed 5 or 6 different times when there was players in, and the next thing it was shifted and so forth and the whole lot. But our 2 midfielders anyway, our first one went to Laura Murphy from O'Loughlin Gales.
You couldn't not have her on a team, to be honest with you. We've said this all year about Laura. She's just been pivotal for O'Loughlin Gales as well, just driving forward constantly. You'd nearly have to find a spot for her in the team there somewhere, because you just couldn't have a team without her.
She got so many nominations through the campaign, it was phenomenal. And our second one then goes to Aoife Cantwell from James Stephens,
who was exceptional in the county final, constantly working up and down, played a real captain's role, I felt, as well in the county final against Barra Rangers. Just showed that her want and desire to want to win that. And James Stephens had such a great year after coming up from junior the previous year and go straight into competing in an intermediate county final. Just showcase a real captain's role there, constant moving from her, really good distribution for him, and certainly well deserved of a midfield position there, going on her form that she was in the club season as well. So congratulations to both Aoife and Laura on that.
Right, do you want to take us through the first 6 nominations for the forwards?
Yep, so our 6 nominations, can we just say as well, this changed umpteen times too. So our first 6 nominations, we have Shauna Tracy from Barra Rangers, Áine Phelan from St. Clair's, Colette Dormer from Barra Rangers, Niamh Deely from James Stephens, Danielle Quigley from O'Loughlin Gales, and Emma Minogue from James Stephens.
And our remaining 6 nominations then is Roisin Breen from Barra Rangers, Leanne Fenley from Mullinavat, Julianne Malone from Mullinavat, Afton Grace from St. Clair's, Katie O'Byrne from Barra Rangers, and Sophie O'Dwyer from James Stephens. Now, we could only pick 12 nominations. Yeah. We had 35 roughly to get that down to 12 after taking out all the nominations out of it. And that was so hard. It was even harder to pick the 6 when it came to it.
This was cruel. If we're being honest. We chopped and changed this so much. We've said it already. This was so hard. This particular team of the year was just so hard. But I suppose you had to whittle it down, and you had to go on form and what we're after seeing and consistency and the names that have been thrown in. And I think definitely the 6 girls that we've picked, the serious 6 forwards, I wouldn't like to come up against any of them, especially these 6 combined, because they've worked really, really hard. And I think that they definitely showcased all their talent and all their skill this year, and particularly in the county final as well.
Right, change it up. We'll go every second one. I do the first one. So our first forward, all-star in the Camán Caint intermediate team of the year, goes to the Barra Rangers club, and it's Colette Dormer.
Our next winner is, you couldn't have her on the team, Roisin Breen from Barra Rangers. 144.
144.
She scored in the whole championship this year, came out top scorer, absolutely phenomenal. And certainly you could not have 6 forwards and not have Roisin Breen in there. Definitely deserved at that.
Our third forward then goes to James Stephens, and it's Niamh Deely.
Our next forward position goes to a young player from James Stephens, Emma Minogue.
Yep, had a fantastic final as well.
1-2.
Great player to watch out for. Then we had, I suppose, the elder statesperson was in Australia for a while, came back, really helped Mullinavat, I suppose, get to the semi-final last year, was pivotal in getting to the semi-final this year. I think she scored a hat-trick against O'Loughlin's in the match that I was looking at for one of them that I was at, but it goes to Leanne Fenley from Mullinavat. Great player for our intermediate team as well, at centre back, no less. It's strange to see her playing in the back for Kilkenny and she's scoring all the goals for Mullinavat.
It just goes to show how versatile she is, and that's what you love to see in a player. Listen, Leanne has just years of experience hurling with Kilkenny, being over in Australia, coming back, slotting straight in to her club team, going on to play in inter-county level this year. Pivotal player for the intermediates this year, just such a great leader. Just able to orchestrate everything around her. So, and listen, we've seen her in action at intermediate level, and the havoc she causes to a back's life there as well. So yeah, excellent to see her in that full forward there. Great, well, wherever she's going to be. But yeah, definitely well deserved of getting on the team of the year.
And the last player then?
The last player I thought was just unbelievable in the county final. It's Katie O'Byrne from Barrow Rangers. She was exceptional. Her work rate was absolutely superb, and definitely, in my opinion, a just deserver there to get into the final slot for the team of the year.
Yep, so as you can see there on the screen, probably, as Ken has them up there now. So just to confirm our backs, it is Colette Dormer from Barrow Rangers, Roisin Breen from Barrow Rangers, Niamh Deely, James Stevens, Emma Minogue, James Stevens, Leanne Fenley of Mullinavat, and Katie O'Byrne of Barrow Rangers. So that is our hotly contested intermediate team of the year. So right, run down through the whole team again.
Okay, so
just to confirm it all.
We'll confirm it all. So our goalie, Kayla Joyce Foley from Barrow Rangers. Our backs, we have Anna Purcell from Barrow Rangers, Elaine Aylward from Mullinavat, Hannah Larkin from James Stevens, Michelle Teen from James Stevens, Miriam Bambrick from Barrow Rangers, and Laura Mulcair from St. Clair's. Our midfielders, we have Laura Murphy, O'Loughlin Gales, and we have Aoife Cantwell from James Stevens. Our 6 forwards then, we have Colette Dormer, Barrow Rangers, Roisin Breen, Barrow Rangers, Niamh Deely, James Stevens, Emma Minogue, James Stevens, Leanne Fenley from Mullinavat, and Katie O'Byrne from Barrow Rangers.
15 outstanding players at intermediate grades, all looking forward to a lot of them, if not all of them, playing at senior level next year, and that puts good spell now. Barrow Rangers up senior next year for the first time in their history.
Yeah, and you know what? They're going to be a tough team for anybody that's going to come up against them. I think the fact that they're going to be so new to it, that there's kind of going to be like an air of giddiness and excitement about them when they hit the senior ranks. And I think probably the experience and the hurt that they've had over the last couple of years, getting to county semi-finals, just not being able to push over the line, to eventually getting over the line this year, going on, winning a county final against what I would consider, a very, very good James Stevens team. I had tipped James Stevens to win the county final. I think they're going to be excited. And they've got a nice bit of youth in there as well. Their skill level is immense. Their work rate, we have to go back to their work rate, especially in the first 15, 20 minutes of the county final. It was just out of this world. They were so hungry. They wanted so much more. There's going to be some massive great additions there to the senior scene as well. Roisin Breen getting into the senior scene. She's only going to be delighted with that. Colette Dormer finally getting to play senior club, for herself. That's going to be fierce excitement for her. The fact that she's been such a stalwart for Kilkenny for so many years, it's great to see her finally getting her just rewards and getting up to playing that senior grade there. Miriam Bambrick is going to be there as well. Katie O'Byrne, I think she could light the world alight there at senior level. So it's going to be great to see. I think they're going to be a really, really good addition, and I think they're going to go well.
They won't be phased at playing at senior level anyway.
I don't think so, and I think they're going to go well. And I think that they're, Stephen Dormer is going to stay on with them. We know what he can bring to them. And I think he's going to have them primed and ready. And I do see them probably having a very, very good Leinster campaign, potentially All-Ireland campaign as well. And I think they can build on that momentum and then bring them on into next year at senior level. So they're going to be a massive, massive addition to the senior ranks. And they're not going to be an easy team to by any means come by, and you're not going to have this fade, they're only up, they can't be that good.
Look at James Stevens, what happened to him last year.
Exactly, they're going to be good.
I should say,
They're going to be very, very good to it.
Which brings me to the next point. Intermediate is going to be even tougher next year. You have James Stevens now on a roll. They're after getting to the county final. They'll be looking to go one step further next year. You then have Camán Caint coming up from junior level into the intermediate grade as well. You have already Emerald St. Anne's is there. You mix in Ballyhale, Danesford. Mullinavat is still going to be there or thereabouts. St. Clair's, as we mentioned, is still a young team. It's a tough bloody grade.
I think it's going to be a really tough grade next year. I think Mullinavat, I would have probably considered them probably one of the stronger teams, which they proved to be. They were in a county semi-final. I do think that the fact that Julianne Malone now will be back fully with them. I know she's only back this year, and it does take a while for a player to kind of gather their bearings again and get back used to it. I think she's going to be a massive addition to them. I think Camán Caint are going to relish in the opportunity of playing at intermediate level. They've got nothing to lose, and I think the fact that they've seen James Stephens get to a county final, I think that's going to stand to Camán Caint even more, that they're going to realise, well, hold on, they only bet us last year.
Yeah.
Look at how far they're after coming, what they're after producing. And I think that they're going to push on for that as well. You know, Emerald St. Anne's, I would imagine, you know, very disappointed, I would say, because, you know, they would have been considered one of the stronger teams at the intermediate level. I do think that they are going to push on. I kind of kept on saying it this year that I think it's their time. They need to push on. They need to push on. We played them in the under-22 at the weekend. They have a nice little unit there of good, young, solid players. So yeah, like I think they'll be thereabouts next year. I think intermediate is always the toughest grade I find to get out of. Like it's very, very hard. And I think once you can break down the barriers there, you know, the world's your oyster after that. And, you know, it really is, to me, it's probably one of the hotly contested grades in the whole championship, if I'm honest. Like it's a brilliant grade and anybody can win it. Anybody at all.
And everyone wants to get to the pinnacle at senior level. Dicksboro and Piltown was there. Dicksboro came out on top.
Yep.
Will they come out on top with the nominations as well? You're going to kick us off with the goalies.
So our goalie nominations for our senior team of the year, we have Kirsty Marr from Dicksboro, Aoife Norris from Piltown, and Niamh Delaney from Connaughey.
Yep, 3 worthy recipients is there. Our goalie then for the senior team of the year, obviously, because they are county champions and this lady had a fantastic game, you know what she's like. Yeah. You've played with her. It goes to Dicksboro and it is Kirsty Marr. Phenomenal in the county final. I thought her presence, you know, she commanded the ball. There was a shot that even Billy had up at one stage that she was after coming out, bursting through a couple of players, lost the hurl and kicked the ball, I think about 20-25 yards up the field. Like when you have a goalkeeper playing like that, it gives the team great spirit and great confidence going into a match.
It certainly does. And the one thing about Kirsty is she's so comfortable in the goal, and especially with her club. I just think she's just so influential as well. She's a great character too. Like we all know Kirsty. She's a devil at the best of times, but you know, she's a great character to have around. Justly deserving of the number one position there. Like, you know, the other two girls, Aoife Norris and Niamh Delaney, absolutely credit to them. They were well deserving of their nomination. But Kirsty, you would have to say she's the pinnacle of goalkeepers.
Yeah,
you know,
and she had an outstanding final as well. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there was no goal conceded in the final.
No.
Dicksboro won it by a point, 15 points to 2-8. You know, that said it all. She really did command that area around the goal mouth, small square, etc. So very worthy recipient of our senior team of the year goalkeeper.
Absolutely.
Which brings us to your favourite position, and I notice your name is not on the list there, but anyway, we'll give you the chance to run down through the list now on the backs.
Would you actually believe I just see my names that have been wrote in here in number 13, so we're going to take that. So our backs, we have Rebecca Nolan from Clara, Katie Byrne from Dicksboro, Kate McCluskey from St. Bridget's, Ailish Butler from Thomastown, Meg Farrell from Thomastown, and Mairead Power from Piltown.
Yeah, I noticed you played a lot again of these already.
Yes.
Like, so yeah.
Our
second six then we have Aisling Nolan from Clara, Niamh Phelan from Dicksboro, Kellyanne Doyle from Piltown, Jane Cass of Dicksboro, Tara Clifford of Dicksboro, and Lorraine Long of Piltown. Tara Clifford, one of 3 sisters on the Dicksboro team. I think I said to Amy in one of the interviews afterwards, I don't think it's been done since Anne and Angela played on the team together in a set of sisters. I mean, the Farrells have been there with Shelley and Megan. And Anna, the 3 of them. Yeah.
Emer, 4 of them.
Now you're talking. Yeah.
And throw in a future sister-in-law, Chloe.
When you look at it,
so the family affair.
You keep forgetting about that, don't you? Yeah. Well, there are 12 backs. So who's going to start us off and get the first back all-star jersey, which we have to say is Eddie, just up here to Áine's right-hand side, the lovely purple ones, sponsored by the Roach Injury Clinic. And thanks a million to David Roach for the sponsorship of them. So who's our first back?
So our first back is going to Dicksboro. It's Katie Byrne. Yeah, she's class. She's very good. Really good young player. Just slotted in nicely into that cornerback position for Dicksboro, I felt as well. Youth. And I think that's...
She's so shy. Yeah. You know, for a girl, and herself and her mother, and Emer Tynan, if you're listening to this, I mean, Emer Tynan is normally the person that's on the sideline roaring and shouting at everybody and the whole lot. Wouldn't she just And I went to get an interview of poor Emer, and Emer ran quicker than she done 11 years ago when Dixborough was after winning the intermediate title. And poor Katie then came along, but such a shy girl off the field. But by God, when she's on the field, there's no shyness there whatsoever.
She's like a little terrier. Like she is, like, it's really good. She's a really gutsy, traditional cornerback, and that's what you love to see.
But for a girl so young, it's unbelievable.
It's great. But I think, we've spoken about this so many times. Dixborough were not afraid to throw their young girls in there, and I think that was the winning of county final.
And you have to commend them, because they brought on so many young girls with a mix of youth and experienced girls that was there as well. And it did help them to win that county title.
It certainly did. And I think, when you look back through all their games, it was their younger girls that really stood up and shone for them. And, it was great to see. And it just goes to show the talent that they have in the club. And, they're going to be there for the next couple of years. They had a great win, the under 22 at the weekend, beating Thomastown, I think 113 to 8 points, whatever the score was. So that they're definitely on a crest of wave. They're high as kites now at the moment, and they're going to be looking forward to Leinster Championship. Yeah. So
talk about experience. Our next All-Star, certainly not lacking in experience. Who is it?
Our next All-Star is going to be Áine Butler from Thomastown, and what a player she is. She is just so tenacious. She's so gutsy. She is just absolutely, she's so dogged, and it's just the way she just gets the hurling, gets the flicks in. She makes a full forward's life so hard.
She does the simple things easy.
Simple things. And in my opinion, definitely, I think she's one of the standout fullbacks in the county at the moment. I just think she's exceptional. And I think we spoke about this already. And I know in the Tyrone game with us, it was just so hard to break down that full back line, and it was fully commanded by her.
Yep. And completing our backs then is,
we have Mairead Power from Piltown, excellent in the county final as we've spoken about. A really good solid player as well. So great to see her getting the nod in there too.
It certainly is. So that completes our first three backs. Our fourth back then of the team of the year goes to a girl from Clara. Clara unlucky this year against Piltown. It could have been swung either way. But Aisling Nolan is our fourth back for the All-Star team. The next player, like Miriam Bambrick for the intermediate team, there's not much that hasn't been said about the next player. And you rave about this girl. And I mean, even in the county final, she was phenomenal. Ní Phelan from Dixborough. Unbelievable player.
I think she's going to be... We've spoken about the girls that are going to be the next Denise Scholes, the next Colette Dormer. I think the capability that this girl has, I think she can be the next Anne Dalton coming up here. I think she's just incredible. For a girl so young to just be able to slot into a massive, massive position, it goes to show she got player of the match in the county final. Excellent, in my opinion, absolutely excellent. And she has been so consistent all year for Dixborough. A phenomenal player. You'd have to say she most definitely is going to be in with the intermediate squad next year, potentially with a senior, but obviously we don't know that yet. But she's going to be a massive addition. We've seen her in the All-Ireland final with the Kilkenny Miners. Excellent as well. So definitely, in my opinion, a no-brainer there, like herself and Miriam Bambrick, an absolute no-brainer there for the centre-back position.
And the last of our backs then goes to the champs as well, out in Dixborough. It is Jane Cass. Outstanding season as well, but had a fantastic final as well.
She's just, this girl is just brilliant. She's kind of like Katie Byrne. She's like a little terrier there as well. It's just the hooks and the blocks and the flicks she just gets in constantly. Absolutely brilliant. Kind of really good to kind of see her maybe kind of coming out of her comfort zone a bit and coming out a little bit further out of the field. I know from past experience with Jane, she's more or less been like a cornerback more so. And I think kind of coming out the field, it's probably stood to her a lot better because she's able to nearly just go on her runs, or I think she likes it tough, and for a small slight girl, she doesn't mind the big player coming in on top of her because she'll go gung ho for them. There's no holding back with her.
I think she even likes the bigger player.
I think so too. Yeah, but definitely well deserved there of a spot on the team of the year.
Right. Well, I know Ken is going to put up the names here in front of us. Our producer is mad looking to give Áine a note here, so while she's doing that and reading it, you can go through the backs first just to confirm them for us.
Yeah, so our backs then, just to recap, we have Katie Byrne from Dixborough, we have Áine Butler from Thomastown, we have Mairead Power from Piltown, we have Aisling Nolan from Clara, we have Ní Phelan from Dixborough, and we have Jane Cass from Dixborough.
Yeah, the note is saying it all right. You should know this anyway, being out and fresh for an awful lot now.
The Costellos, the Mars,
the Kennedys.
Kennedys.
Yeah. Fitzpatrick's.
Yeah, how could we forget the Fitzes?
How could we forget it? Which Áine, now in fairness, Eile's gone to Thomastown, so technically now she's not Freshford anymore.
There's a lot of them there. The Kavanaghs, they would have won Club All-Irelands as well. There could have been a couple of them on it. You know, there's an abundance of players out that way. I'm going to get killed for not knowing that. Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time though out there now, would it?
No, absolutely not. Sure, they've got three Club All-Irelands, and the amount of sisters that were on that was crazy. I think there's actually a lovely picture of that. I'm nearly sure it's in the corridors in Loretto. This is going back to my Loretto days. And it's a fab pic. It's not that long ago, Martin, to be fair. Like, come on, it's not that long ago. But there's a lovely...
Well, it wasn't today or yesterday anyway. Now, let's be fair.
It's only about 3 or 4 years ago. But there is a lovely picture, and it has all the sisters. So it's got Esther and Imelda Kennedy. It's got Sinead and Mairead Costello is in it. You've got Marie and Martina Marr, and I think maybe not Brenda. No, definitely Marie and Martina, I think, were in it. I think Danielle Minogue is in it and Nicola, but I'm not really sure. The Fitz is then you have Aoife, Eileen. I'm sure Emma was there as well. You know, it's just a really, really nice picture of them all. Like it was really just a family affair, and I think they were talking out for Kilkenny at the time, and it was just they could have been prepping for an All-Ireland final, I think, around that time.
You'll have to go get the photograph now.
Yeah, I'll have to find
That's
out.
what you'll have to do.
Yeah,
you'll have to make a little trip back to the school,
oh God.
a little reunion.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd only love that. But yeah, great to see it.
Oh yeah, and of course Paula. And
Oh
Sheila,
God, yeah, Paula and Sheila. Better not forget Paula. God.
I can feel my phone buzzing now.
Yeah, she's giving out stink
She's
now.
definitely going to give out to me.
Yeah, but it's really nice, really lovely picture. It just goes to show the kind of like the family unity that's in camogie, and I think that absolutely alludes to it.
But it's great to show though that it is a family affair when it comes to the GAA, camogie, ladies football, the whole lot. It's brilliant. Right, moving on to our midfield pairings then, and another one of our sister duos to start off from Dixborough. Who is our 4 nominees?
Our 4 nominees then, we have Ciara Phelan from Dixborough, we have Laura Norris from Piltown, we have Anna Farrell from Thomastown, and we have Aoife Prendergast from Dixborough. Now, we did say this one was extremely tough. 4 fantastic players. You could pick it out of the hat. Any 2 of them would be just deserving of this.
I think Aoife was looking for extra brownie points, even mentioning this during her acceptance speech.
yeah, probably. I know. But yeah, no, it was great. All 4 players definitely, in my opinion, definitely deserved the nomination anyway. It's very, very hard to pick this, to be fair.
Right. Announce our first of our midfielders. Who does it go to?
Our first of our midfielders, Niamh got the bragging rights for about 10 minutes, but in pops Ciara Phelan from Dixborough going to the first midfield position there. And you'd have to say, you know, pivotal for Dixborough all year. Just her work rate alone, great for the Kilkenny Intermediates too. She's been nominated for a Soaring Star, I think, as well, off the top of my head. Yeah, so yeah, definitely just a reward there for Ciara Phelan.
Yeah, we should have mentioned Spud earlier on because she's actually up for the Players' Player there. Now, the All-Stars has been postponed, as people might not be aware. They were supposed to be on Friday evening, but because of COVID restrictions and the whole lot, same as the GAA, they're postponed as well. So hopefully in the new year, we'll know that. But we're in first. We have our All-Star team first, which is most important. Right, our second midfield player then goes down south to Thomastown, and it's Anna Farrell. And I know you played against Anna this year as well. A thorn in your side, you told me.
Absolutely. And you know what the one thing about Anna is, and credit where credit's due, she's probably one of the most underrated players, I think, by a long shot. I think she definitely should have an All-Star. She doesn't. Her work rate on and what she has done, not just for Thomastown, because she's instrumental with Thomastown, but for Kilkenny over the last couple of years has been incredible. And, you know,
we certainly missed her this year.
I was just going to say it. I think she was that little missing piece that Kilkenny probably needed. Just the way she's just able to work so hard, and absolutely brilliant to see. Delighted that she's getting some sort of recognition there, and thoroughly deserving of a spot on the team of the year at senior level. You couldn't have a midfield without having Anne in it, in my opinion.
Because everything is turning. There's gremlins in here at the minute. Even the screens are turning off us here now. But I tell you, this is definitely live. You can't beat live. I'm telling you.
I don't know what kind of amateurs we're working with here, Mark. We're not used to this at all.
Oh God, yeah. Mind her poor little fall off the stool over there now. We don't want ambulances coming over here now, in fairness. Right, our forwards, we're going to go with our first 6 nominations. Our first one is Aoife Doyle from Piltown, Steffi Fitz from Young Ireland's out in Gordon, Lucinda Gann from Dixborough, Orla Ryan from St. Bridget's, Asha McCarty from Dixborough, and Sophie Holden from Piltown. So go through the other 6 for us.
And our final 6 then, we have Katie Power from Piltown, we've Niamh Cullerton from Piltown, we've Amy Clifford from Dixborough, we've Alana Gallagher from Piltown, we have Niamh Dowling from Tullaroan, and we have Mary O'Connell from Clara.
See, someone from Tullaroan did get in.
Yes.
Just wasn't you.
No, I'll have to take it so.
Right, announce our first forward so for us. Who is our number 10 to be on our senior team of the year?
Our first position goes to Steffi Fitzgerald from the Young Ireland's Club down in Gorn, and absolutely, you'd have to say, looking back at nominations, she was popped up prim and proper every time down there. So great to see Steffi getting a recognition there as well.
Yep. Our next forward then goes to the champs. It goes to Asha McCarty, and I know you're a fan of Asha as well. Not only did she get plenty of nominations, but she played very well as well in that final.
Yep, and we spoke about this. She was the most consistent player on score-wise for Dixborough all year. She scored in every single game. So, if that's not a nod alone for a player so young as well,
had an outstanding game in the All-Ireland as well when it came to it.
She's definitely going to be one of the players to watch for the future for Kilkenny anyway.
Not bad. An All-Ireland minor medal and a county medal in the back pocket.
Isn't it?
Oh, God, excuse me. Right, our next player then is Niamh Dowling from Tullaroan.
Do you know, I'm absolutely delighted with this. She has been so consistent for Tullaroan, not just this year, but for so many years. She's just a driving force on the Tullaroan team. A great role model, just a lovely girl in general anyway, but she has just been absolutely exceptional for us. She's just constantly up and down the field. Her work rate is just untold of, and in my opinion, 100%, absolutely, I'd have her. She'd be the first name down on my team sheet all day, every day, and certainly deserves this position as well.
Right, take us on to the next player. So
our next player then, we have Sophie Holden from Piltown.
Yeah.
Another great performance in the county final as well for Sophie. A really slight little player as well, but really speed merchant kind of, you put her out there. So she's getting the nod there for, we'll say, the corner forward position if there is positions. Yeah,
well, the next player then for number 5 in the forwards is going also to Piltown. That's going to Niamh Cullerton as well.
Another excellent player. I think off the top of my head, Niamh spent a couple of years in Australia. I think she was playing with the Perth Swans, as far as I know. I'm nearly sure she was. I think that's where she was, or she could have been St. Gabriel's. She was one of the two clubs. Western Swans or Gabriel's. One of them is that she played for over in Perth, as far as I know off the top of my head. Now I could be completely wrong. There could be another Niamh Cullerton down in Piltown, but I'm nearly sure I am. But really good county final. Definitely deserved winner of that position too.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a message coming in shortly just to confirm things for us anyway. Our last forward then goes also to the county champs, and it goes to Amy Clifford. Now, Amy's an unbelievable bit of stuff. In fairness, she phenomenal. Had a great minor campaign as well. Was talking to her after the final, and especially about that penalty miss that she thought maybe, oh God, what am I going to do? Am I after losing the county final? But to come back and score 2 fantastic points, one of them almost out on the sideline then as well towards the end of the game. Phenomenal.
Do you know what? We spoke about this already, and I just want to reiterate it again. For a player to step up so young as well, let's just remind, she was only on the minor team this year as well, and to step up, miss a penalty, then to turn around and throw over 2 free straight after it, that shows serious character in as well. A lot of players could have gone down. The management might have had to make a decision to maybe change up the free take or whatever the case may be. No, gutsy out, believed in herself, took the confidence, popped over the scores, has been doing it consistently for Dixborough all year long. I mentioned it already. I think she's starting to take over the pedestal for Jenny there. Jenny mightn't like it, but absolutely brilliant. Delighted for Amy there, and definitely deserves that position there too.
Well, time stands still for no one, as we do know that. So the next generation is coming on. So that does complete the Camán Caint senior team of the year. So we'll give a run back, and I think Ken has the winners ready to go there for us. So our goalkeeper is Kirsty Marr from Dixborough. Our backs then is Katie Byrne from Dixborough, Ailish Butler from Thomastown, Mairead Power of Piltown, Ashley Nolan of Clara, Niamh Phelan from Dixborough, and Jane Cass of Dixborough. Moving into midfield, then we have Ciara Phelan from Dixborough and Anna Farrell of Thomastown. And our 6 forwards then is Steffi Fitzgerald from Young Ireland's in Gordon, Asha McHardy from Dixborough, Niamh Dowling from Tullaroan, Sophie Holden Piltown, Niamh Culleton Piltown, Amy Clifford of Dixborough, and Shin A for the senior team of the year. 35 players on you, picked, ready to go to receive jerseys, but our work is not done yet because we had the onerous task of doing the player of the year. Now, we've done a slightly different this year. We have to say, the committee themselves went on a vote.
Yeah.
The Spies had a vote when it came to this as well, but we also put it out to the public for scoreline.ie, and over 3,065 votes were sent in for the player of the year. So the way it worked was the winner of the public vote for the scoreline.ie got 1 vote when it came to it, and then all the other votes was tallied up. And I have the golden envelope here, which I'm going to pass to my co-host. And you're going to announce our winner in a minute. But first of all, our nominations for the Junior Player of the Year were Sarah Crowley of Mooncoin, Laura Wall from Mooncoin, and Marianne Welsh from Mooncoin. So we know it's definitely going to Mooncoin.
Yeah. It's just which house in Mooncoin at this stage.
Well, that's the important one. Áine Fahey, you have the honour of revealing the Camán Caint Junior Player of the Year.
It's all very fancy, isn't it? Let's look at this. So our winner is... You have the wrong one in, Martin.
Oh, God. I'm telling you, live, isn't that wonderful, isn't it? And there's no name in that one. Right. I'm telling you. Right.
Okay, anyway.
Just as well Ken has the graphics here in front of us. So Ken, take us out of our misery. There we go.
So our Junior Player of the Year goes to Sarah Crowley from Mooncoin. Sarah obviously
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know, she's had an absolutely outstanding year for Mooncoin. She's been so consistent in every single one of the games. I told you to leave that to me earlier on.
Well, in fairness, show and tell now. I should have definitely left that to you.
She's been absolutely exceptional all year. Her, you know, just her presence, I suppose, on the team that she's played for, she's, you know, been rewarded. She's justly been rewarded with a nomination for the intermediate Kilkenny intermediate player of the year for the All-Star Camogie, and obviously Junior Player of the Year. She has her slot on the All-Star team as well. You know, absolutely amazing. She's a credit to everybody down in Mooncoin. She's just such a lovely person as well. You're after making an absolute hames of this.
A dog's dinner has been made of that, I can tell you. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah Crowley,
well done. You are our winner of the Camán Caint Junior Team of the Year. So well done. Bowl of us on to Sarah on that one. We'll get her right for next year if we're called back after that. I doubt it very much, but anyway, thank God Ken is on show out there because he's professional. We're not. Is that right?
Speak for yourself now.
Right, moving swiftly along then, as you do when these things happen. Our intermediate player of the year, and our nominations are Colette Dormer from Barra Rangers, Roisin Breen from Barra Rangers, and Miriam Bambrick for Barra Rangers. And after a quick, like the Oscars, change, you can now announce the winner properly for this one.
So the winner for the Camán Caint Intermediate Player of the Year goes to Roisin Breen from the Barra Rangers Club. Absolutely outstanding. Finished the year as top scorer of the year. You know, the votes that came in for her were absolutely colossal as well.
Phenomenal.
I said this last week. I said I wanted to get Breen viral. I'd say Breen was doing it herself as well. But just immense, absolutely immense in the county final. I spoke to Lillian about this. We had this conversation. She has the hands of God. If a hurler had them, they'd be blown out of proportion. They'd be everywhere on social media. She's absolutely gifted. A serious belt of a ball as well. Unbelievable on the frees. 6 points in the county final. 2 45s, 2 from play, 2 from frees. Absolutely exceptional, and definitely well within, well justified there with her Player of the Year.
Yeah, congratulations, Roisin. Well deserved for that. I may go look at the bin for Spuds one, see if I can find that. But anyway, right, can we get the next one right, please? At least get some of them right now for this one. But anyway, there are two so far, one to go, and that is the Senior Player of the Year. Our nominees are Jane Cass from Dixborough, Mairead Power from Piltown, and Niamh Phelan from Dixborough. And if this one is not right, I'm walking out that door immediately, so I am.
Okay, so our Senior Player of the Year goes to Dixborough's Niamh Phelan. Congratulations. Niamh has been a pivotal part of Dixborough this year. We've spoken about her already for such a young player, great leadership, great character, absolutely brilliant to see her getting it. She had a phenomenal county final, was rewarded with a Player of the Match. She's having a great year. Captain of the Kilkenny Miners, winning an All-Ireland final, winning a senior county title with Dixborough, Player of the Match, in the Team of the Year, and now the Player of the Year award as well. Absolutely, certainly well deserved, and congratulations to herself as well.
Yeah, certainly doesn't get much better. At least so 1 out of 3 is not bad.
No, it's not bad, I suppose.
I blame the producer. She should have checked everything anyway before we done it. So that right, Ken. Anyway, right. So that's it. It's been a blast. Still not going to finish for us yet. We know we're out on duty on the 27th, which is Saturday coming, for Connaughey and Michael. Although you're not, because it's not good enough. You're going away, and that's really not good enough. But you have a deputy in place anyway.
Yeah.
So we will be doing that 1:30 Saturday, Ken. Yep, from Michael. So we'll be there on that. And then we have Thomastown is in the final, playing either is it St. Jude's, and Owlert is playing this weekend as well.
And Owlert, after winning the Wexford County final as well over the weekend, are pushing hard for that. And I suppose them kind of having maybe an extra couple of weeks training and getting more competitive matches as opposed to what Thomastown have. It'll be a massive test for St. Jude's there as well. So yeah, it'll be.
And Michael have a slight edge as well, because they only played their county final, I think, last weekend or the weekend before. Like Connaughey hasn't had a game in a couple of weeks now.
6 weeks now, yeah.
They're going into this cold.
Yeah, they are. And you'd be kind of concerned. Are they going to be a bit rusty? Not having the competitive games. I know, listen, we can all get challenge matches till the cows come home, but it's the competitive games, that's what you need. But listen, I'm sure Connaughey are working very, very hard, keeping to themselves, working extremely hard, as I've just said, and they'll be fully focused on this. They would have had in the back of their mind that they were going for it last year, and nothing will have changed there, and they'll be looking forward to getting out and getting a rattle this weekend. They
will, and then Thomastown will be, okay, they're not county champions anymore, but they'll certainly be looking to go all the way to the All-Ireland final.
They certainly will, and they'll push on hard for that. Very heavily fancied last year. How will not maybe getting to a county final, will that maybe dampen the spirits a bit, or are they just going to push on altogether? And now maybe it'll work for them that they only have one thing to focus on as opposed to having 2 championships to focus on. So they'll push hard for that as well. So it's going to be great to see. It's going to be great that we're going to have 4 different clubs competing in 4 Leinster championships and potentially All-Ireland championships as well.
Yeah, and we got word as well over the weekend that the All-Ireland final for camogie is going to be condensed, and it's going to be played in July next year. I think Gareth is after taking the spot of Crow Park for the usual slot for the camogie final. So that'll be done by the end of July, and then you'll have the club competitions then from August until November. So they'll be getting an extra month of games next year.
Yeah, and who wants to come up against any of those teams if, in the championship, if Kilkenny are lucky enough to get the teams to an All-Ireland stage, you're not going to be wanting to come up against teams that have been training flat out at such a high level as well. They're not going to be doing their pre-season or, just going through the motions. They're going to be fully focused on All-Ireland championship. Please God, if
they do get much pre-season though for a lot of clubs. You take it, if Thomastown gets to the All-Ireland semi-final, that's going to be played, I think it's around the 11th or 12th of December. The All-Ireland final is going to be getting played around the 18th, 19th of December, and the final is going to be played either New Year's Day or the 2nd of January. And the teams that won the 2021 competitions are going to be playing in early January, just about finished in time for the league to start. So it's going to be no resting period at all for a lot of our players.
No, it's going to be very, very heavy for a lot of the girls. And I suppose let's kind of look back at it a bit. Lockmore Castleiney have been out 17 weeks in a row between hurling and football in Tipperary. Last weekend they won the football. John McGraga in a last minute goal. Could you say 17 weeks, has it kind of done them any harm? By last Sunday, it certainly didn't. They have to prepare now for a hurling county final this weekend. So yeah, is it does it kind of like dampen their preparations? Maybe so, but the girls are going to have to be fully focused. You'd imagine that a lot of them probably won't be back, if they are potentially in at any level of inter-county, that they potentially won't be back in it anyway for the pre-season training and that, because they will be working very, very hard with their clubs, all going well, please God. And sure, listen, it's it's an exciting time for all the teams that are involved. It's exciting to be a fan and a follower for Kilkenny camogie at club and county level. So hopefully everything will go well and we'll get a couple of teams to an All-Ireland Championship, and hopefully Kilkenny to 3, 4, 5 maybe inter-county between under 16, minors, intermediates and seniors next year. Great to see.
There's a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
Talking about exciting, we were on Sue Nunn earlier on. We were having a discussion with herself as well. Can you believe it that this is episode 11 or 12 we are on at this stage? This was touted back when we were in the middle of I think it was even the league or heading into the championship campaign about starting up a podcast for camogie that we were looking to try and do. It's blown out of the water. Even over the weekend of the county final, the amount of people that actually came up and said, God, there's your man that does the commentary on the radio. And you got a lot of it as well about the podcast and people listening to it, and even doing the interviews afterwards. The managers of the teams was listening to it. It has been brilliant. The coverage for camogie this year has been outstanding.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think, we've kind of certainly brought up a level, and, I can't keep saying this enough. It's really highlighting the club player, and that's what we wanted to do. We've done all the commentary for the inter-county games, and I suppose the start of the podcast was maybe about the minor winning team, the preview coming up to intermediate, All Ireland, and all that. But it's been great over the last couple of weeks to just fully focus in on club players, and because I think the club is the root of every success, and that's where all these girls have come from. And it's hard to believe this is the 12th episode, is it?
Yeah,
12th episode of this. It's been chaotic, I'm not going to lie, but it has been very exciting. And I think, it has really been all about promoting, developing and showing support for camogie in Kilkenny. And I think, to be fair, I think we have done a decent job on it. I think, we've worked well with it, and we've got on with it. And I think we may have caused a bit of speculation at the start, or
apart from the poor producer, but
anyway. But she doesn't really. She's irrelevant, Martin. I've told you this on numerous occasions. But yeah, I think we've done really, really well. I think the promotion has been absolutely brilliant. The feedback we've gotten from everybody, I think Lillian actually said that the feedback she got from the sponsors of the club championship this year, they were absolutely blown away and delighted with how their names were actually portrayed across their sponsorship of the junior, intermediate and senior club championship this year, which was great to see as well. I think it's been phenomenal. I think there's so many more people actually talking about camogie now, which is great to see. And there's so many more names being thrown out there. And I think there is overall nearly a newfound respect for camogie, which is what we want at the end of the day. And I think that's really the main thing that's after coming from this, and it's great to see, and hopefully long may it last, and hopefully this is just the start of teams of the year and player of the year, because I do think it's very important for the club scene to be recognised, and for girls to be rewarded in some way.
Yeah, well, you never know. We might have the same sponsors on board for next year when they see all of their jerseys flying around the place. Again, sincere thank you to David Roach and the Roach Injury Clinic, John Crowley, Shoreside Farm Potatoes up behind me, and Killery Lighting Services, and as well as I mentioned earlier on, to Billy Culleton, who does phenomenal work going to most camogie matches, and you'll be able to find all his photographs there as well. For a first live event that we've done, I don't think we've done too bad, apart from the little cop at the end with the bad names and the whole lot. But it has been certainly an experience. I've enjoyed it tonight anyway. Hope you have. Hope all you at home have enjoyed it as well. Want to sincerely thank the man behind the camera here in front of me, Ken Maguire, who has done all of the graphics tonight. Absolutely phenomenal job. And he's been helping and guiding us with
Yeah.
the podcast over the last 12 weeks. And I can tell you his little tutorial videos of how to work everything has been a treat. Without him, we would have been lost. And of course, to the main man behind all the streaming tonight, Mr. Eddie Hughes, over there too in the corner, hiding away with his earphones on, making sure everything that we say is above board in the whole lot. To yourself, thank you. As always, it has been a pleasure, and we might hop off one another every now and then, but we certainly enjoy it. And I suppose we've got to thank the producer.
Well, I suppose, listen, she deserves an L. She deserves an L mentioned there. She does. She does work hard.
If we don't, we won't get the cup of tea the next day that we go out into the match. Like, so,
I suppose, listen, she does do her bit, I suppose.
Anyway, folks, thank you very much. It has certainly been a pleasure doing the Scoreline.ie Camán Caint podcast here in the KCLR studios tonight. And over the last 12 weeks, we have had an absolute blast. Still not finished, as we said, while we continue with the club championships. We also have a special documentary that will be coming up hopefully before Christmas. Keep an eye out for that. It's an extra episode of our podcast as well. Details of that will come on stream later on. But from myself, Áine, and all the team here in KCLR, that's a wrap on the very first live Camán Caint podcast. A good night from us.
Thank you.